What's going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be previewing the big Collingwood St Kilda clash. So let's run that intro, jump straight into it. Just before we do jump straight into it, like I always say, I'll be releasing minimum of 2 videos a week. I'm thinking about doing a third one a couple days after the game, maybe a bit more dissection and stuff. But if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. Be sure to click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You get a pop-up whenever these video gets released. Quick shout out to all the people in the comments. Last video they gave me a yeah boy, really appreciate it. I'm still looking through those comments, and if I haven't liked or if I haven't given it that little love heart, I will go back and do all that. A quick plug to my Twitch channel. I'm streaming FIFA 20 at the moment. I'm still going to be doing my AFL Evolution 2 videos. They'll get put onto my YouTube channel every now and then. But I'm trying to do maybe 3 or 4 streams a week, maybe 4 FIFA 20. In a couple of weeks, I will be doing my Collingwood Cross Grimsby Town video. So pretty much what I'm doing is, and I'll make a video for it here, but pretty much what I'll be doing is taking Grimsby Town with all Collingwood players up to the Premier League, Champions League, Premiers of England and all that stuff. Anyway, that's all out of the way. Let's just get into this preview. A bit of St Kilda's form over the past week. I would like to say round 1 as well. We will touch on their round 1 performance, but keep in mind that was 3 months ago. But the Saints absolutely pummeled the Western Bulldogs last weekend to the tune of 39 points. The Western Bulldogs lost their bite a little bit, pun intended, I guess. But the Saints were just really damaging, really punishing. Great run through the middle. Zach Jones is just proven to be a great recruit. I think he got over 25 disposals. I think he got about 29 disposals. But provided a lot of run, a lot of grunt. Jack Billings is just proving to the competition why he was a top 5 pick. He was actually, a top 3 pick. He's coming into his own, especially last week. St Kilda have done a lot of great things over the pre-season, with recruiting and stuff. Brad Hill, Patrick Ryder, Zach Jones, other guys that's that they've got in there, but there was the 3 or 4 main ones, and Dan Hanbury as well. Brett Radden does have them playing a bit of an exciting sort of football, lots of running, lots of attacking. But in saying that, their round 1 performance against the Kangaroos, where they lost by a point, they were up by 30 odd points, and the Kangaroos were just like injury depleted. They had 1 on the bench. I think they had 3 injuries, and they fought their way back and won. So I know that was a few months ago, but you do still have to take that into account because evidently they're the same team. But the Bulldogs, we smashed the Bulldogs in round 1. They got smashed last week. So the Bulldogs aren't a good team. So it's like, how much of it was the Saints being good and how much of it was just the Bulldogs being, shit ass. But that's been St Kilda's form over the past 3 months. So us, what can I say about this draw? Oh, I'm still spewing about it pretty much. It was disappointing, but another thing that you can say about it was that it was a defensive masterclass. 2 of the best teams in the competition. What happened was that they both did, if you're playing FIFA 20 or FIFA, you put on ultra, you can have ultra attacking or you can have ultra defending or park the bus. These teams were just parking the bus in that second half, mainly that last quarter. No one wanted to hit that, that knockout blow, because when you're in a stalemate like that, you can either risk the game, go to attack, and then get done on the counter, and you lose the game or whatever it is, or you win the game. No one wants to throw that Hail Mary pass. We did it a little bit too late, but it was a defensive masterclass. Look, our first quarter was great. A mix of attack, a mix of defense, getting the Premiers to no goals in that quarter, and us piling on 4 was really good. Kind of stopped after there when Richmond put their foot on the gas. But keeping a Premiership side, well, Premiers from last year, to 2 goalless quarters is actually really phenomenal. And on top of that, we only kicked 1 goal for 3 quarters of football, and we still got the draw. That's we didn't deserve to win and we didn't deserve to lose. So a draw just kind of, it's just poetically beautiful in a sense. Not much to say about that round one game 3 months ago. Smashed the Bulldogs again, kind of like a St Kilda situation. They had no answers for us. So the last time we played the Saints, I'm not going to include that Marsh series game because it's the Marsh series. No one really takes it seriously. So the last proper time we versed the Saints was back in round 9 last year. That game is synonymous for a lot of things. Stevenson's barrel/torpedo, Buckley's smile, Tom Langdon getting injured. That was the last time we saw him on a football field, and you know it's going to be a long time since we see him back on one. And it's going to be known for Stevenson putting a multi on himself and everyone else, and ultimately that's one of the games that he copped his suspension for. But we're just going to call it round 9 from here on in. So back in round 9, we were pretty much on top for the first half. St Kilda did fluff their chances a lot. They did miss a lot of shots. We got out to a decent enough lead. They came back at 3/4 time. We were only up by 5 points before we had to kick 6 or 7 goals in that last quarter and ultimately won by over 40 points. I always bring this game up, you know, amongst another handful of games, as one of the games where we never put the teams to the sword. We have a lot of chances and we just don't do anything with it. And then we have that 3/4 fade out in the last 10 or so minutes. And then we let the other teams back. To be fair, in that game, 1, we went down with Langdon's injury, and 2, we had no Moore, we had no DeGoey, and we had no Elliott. So there goes your 2 goal kickers and arguably your best backman, all gone before the bounce. One of the key areas is going to be putting the goals on the board. I know it sounds silly, but you know, after last week, only kicking 5 goals for an entire game of football, that is one of the areas that's going to be key to winning. You don't win games without kicking goals. You draw games without kicking goals, or you lose games without kicking goals. So I think our forwards have to be on fire. Last week, our forward line was pretty much non-existent. If you go back and watch my review video, if you haven't already seen it, you know I was pretty critical on DeGoey, Elliott, Woolhoskin, Elliott, Mychik. Pretty much the whole forward line. Really upset with DeGoey's performance, but that's for that video. That's not for this video. But yeah, our forward line has to kick it up a gear. We need to be kicking at least 14, 15 goals possibly to win this game, because St Kilda, they do like piling on the goals. They do have a lot of avenues towards goals, especially with King down there. You know, Billings is a goal scorer as well. They've got a couple of goal scoring midfielders. They've got Dan Butler there as well. So it's going to be also our defence has to hold up. Darcy Moore is playing great football, so having him back is a bonus. You know, does he go to King? Does Ruffy go to King? I think Moore is better suited to King, so that will be an interesting matchup if that does happen. Another key area is going to be our ruck situation. At the moment, well, we also Brody copped a knock to his knee. He went down to the rooms last week for about 10 or so minutes, came back, played the rest of the game out, had some scans. Apparently the scans are all good. Their Rovers, opposition Rovers, rove to Grundy's taps, and Grundy's taps become ineffective. So if you have Cameron in there or Cox, kind of throws a cog in the middle, especially Cameron. Not a lot of footage for opposition to look at. So it does have benefits as well. The last area that I want to look at a little bit is our tackle count. Yes, okay, you know, you can have a low tackle count and still win games, but you know, last week's tackle count was under 30 while the Tigers had over 70. And this kind of happened in round 9 last year against St Kilda. We had under 35 and they had over 70 as well. So I know we're a good defensive side, but if you're not putting the pressure on the ball carrier, which, you know, really didn't happen with Richmond, you're letting them run a lot. And then, you know, if they're putting pressure on you and causing a lot of tackles, you're really fluffing the ball around, you're kicking it across your body, you're kicking it high, you're kicking it into the corridor, 50-50s, you lose those 50-50s, and it's just a snowball effect. So there's definitely something that we really must be looking into. Big call and predictions. So my big call after ravaging him all week is the goalie's going to come out and kick 3 or 4 goals. I think that if he wants to drop punt the ball every once in a while, I would really appreciate that. But yeah, I think he's going to come out and kick a bag of goals as a way of saying sorry for the shit-ass performance that I put up last week. And my prediction is we're going to win by over 30 points. Why do I think we're going to win by over 30 points? Yeah, I pretty much just said it. I'm really confident in this team to come away with the draw. Last week was great for what we put up, and I feel like that we're just going to burst and just come out firing against St Kilda. So that's pretty much it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this preview of the big game against St Kilda. I say big because there's only 17 games in the season, so every game is going to count. You're not going to finish top 4 losing more than 3 games, I would assume. But if you've watched it this far, leave a swoop down below in the comments. I'll like it. I'll give it a little bit of a heart and just really appreciate you guys watching it all the way through to the end. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.